President J.D. Vance urging voters not to give back control of Congress to Democrats in November.
What is it about a political party that can't stand up and cheer for the fact that we have rising wages and low inflation for the first time in a very long time in the United States of America?
Criticizing what opponents did not applaud during the president's State of the Union address as he visits Wisconsin, pitching a Trump agenda Democrats argue is not working. The latest round of U.S. nuclear talks with Iran apparently done for now in Geneva, where the foreign minister for mediator Oman is reporting significant progress and saying technical level talks will happen next week in Vienna. A massive U.S. military buildup remains in the Middle East. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton giving closed-door testimony to a House panel's probe of Jeffrey Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell.
The former Secretary of State says, quote, "I had no idea about their criminal activities. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein. I never flew on his plane or visited his island, homes, or offices. I have nothing to add to that." Democrats say focus on the Clintons is a distraction.
Fox's Chad Pergram in Chappaqua, New York, where former President Bill Clinton will also give a deposition tomorrow. A federal judge allows the White House ballroom project to continue.
A request from the National Trust for Historic Preservation to halt construction of a $400 million ballroom was dismissed by federal district judge Richard Leon. The group has challenged President Trump's authority to tear down the White House East Wing and construct the ballroom without approval from Congress or federal oversight boards. But the judge says that argument is unlikely to succeed under the current lawsuit because the construction costs are being covered with private donations and not congressional funding.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. America is listening to Fox News.
Hello, everyone. This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Ainsley. I'm Richard. We have a disabled vehicle blocking your right lane on I-75 southbound between East Holly Road and Dixie Highway. Moving roadwork blocking your two left lanes on I-75 southbound between Outer Drive and Sibley Road. Steer clear of a disabled vehicle on the I-94 westbound off-ramp to Belleville Road. We've got a tow truck on the scene there. And we've got an accident in your construction zone on Telegraph Road northbound at Stewart Road. Please be aware of that and avoid it if you can. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of clouds and sun today, a high of 32. Few passing clouds for tonight, a low near 25. Mostly sunny for Friday with a high near 50. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR traffic and weather first.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hi friends, Bill Golly here from Golly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This February is Ram Truck Month, where every Ram truck comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Right now, well-qualified Chrysler employees with loyalty can lease a 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 for just $359 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down, plus sex title plates and dock car extra. So come see us. That's Golly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, or our newest location on Mac in Detroit, or always at Golling.com.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
Say hello to another great voice. This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR.
Hey, let's go on a Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason, Kelsey Phillips across the glass. Welcome in over there, Kelsey, as well. Back in studio today on this beautiful, sunshiny Wednesday in the city of Detroit and beyond. Yesterday, we were in Lansing. Great opportunity yesterday to speak with a ton of lawmakers in advance of the state address. We'll get to that in a minute. I do want to let you all know of a programming note. Tomorrow, we're going to shift things up a little bit. I actually am going to be hosting the 4 to 7 p.m. block tomorrow at the 39th Annual Salvation Army's Bed and Bread Radiothon. We encourage everybody to tune in, to come on out. It'll be at Ford's Garage in Dearborn tomorrow on Michigan Avenue. We look forward to that. The Mitch Albom Show is going to be in this time slot tomorrow. So Mitch Albom Show from 2 to 4. I will do the ending of the shift tomorrow, the 4 to 7 slot with Jamie Edmonds as we wrap up the big show tomorrow, the 39th Annual Bed and Bread Radiothon, a 27-hour fundraising event dedicated to fighting hunger and homelessness across Metro Detroit. Always great to be with Jamie Edmonds as well. Tim Allen will join the program tomorrow, so we're going to have a lot of fun. I encourage everybody, if you are able to come on out tomorrow to Ford's Garage, we invite you to do so. Have some lunch with us. Say hello. There's going to be a lot of great things out there as well. And if you cannot come out, feel free to tune in, as always, here on 760 WJR. Want to welcome in our YouTube audience as well, as we give you more ways to listen and to watch our program here on 760 WJR. You could subscribe to the show. It will not cost you a thing to subscribe. It just makes it easier to find us when you're looking for us on that app. So let's get to it. Governor Gretchen Whitmer giving her final State of the State address last night. She centered most of her speech on education, on housing, on healthcare, what she'd like to do in the final 10 months of being in office. Now, what she has done over the last 7 years, including fixing state and federal highways and bridges. She talked about that. She talked about working across the aisle with House Leader Matt Hall on a number of issues, including getting the new fighter wing for Michigan's Selfridge Air Force Base. She even, and this has been making the rounds on social media, she even thanked President Trump for his work on getting the new fighter aircraft and new refueling tanks based there as well.
We're not done yet. Michiganders expect us to compete and win. Michigan is open for business. New factories making batteries, cars, chips are opening in Marshall, Lake Orion, Holland, Bay City, Calumet, Hemlock, Ann Arbor, and Delta Township. A new fighter mission is coming to Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Macomb County. Probably not on the bingo card, but I want to thank President Trump for his work on this.
So certainly not on a lot of people's bingo cards, but that is one of the reasons why I think she's been so successful. The perception of her governorship has been a success. The approval rating the governor has in this state is something that any governor in any of the 50 states would love to have. She's got the highest approval rating of any two-term governor leaving office since Governor Romney. Despite that, Michigan's got some real problems. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But she is a very skilled politician, and she took a lot of criticism for standing next to the president, first of all, in the Oval Office, in trying to get that work done at Selfridge, but then greeting him at Selfridge and standing next to him at the podium. But it was at that moment, I think a lot of people realized, okay, her job is for the people of Michigan. Politics is a very nasty game, and you see it up close and personal. It's very hard to, A, get something done, and B, have your base be okay with that. I mean, we have people that won't even be in the same room as the president in a State of the Union address. But she said, no, my obligation, I work for the people of Michigan, and I'm going to find some common ground and work with the president, work with Speaker Hall on things we do agree on. I thought that was one of the biggest parts of her governorship here in the state of Michigan. We'll talk about the problems, though, in a minute. I want to get to this local story. I want to get to Marie here because this is a big story locally. It's a dramatic reversal from years past. Stellantis has announced there will be no profit-sharing checks this year in 2025 for its UAW members. Shocking news for these workers who just a couple of years ago got their hands on thousands of dollars in these checks every year. WJR's Marie Osborne has this very tough story for those workers. Hey, Marie.
It is tough, Ryan. Think about this. Just a couple of years ago, these same workers, these same employees were getting about $14,000.
Unbelievable.
In profit sharing. And that is really something that could be quite changing for any family. So the company's latest financial report actually paints the picture. Stellantis posted a steep loss for the year, driven largely by massive write-downs tied to earlier electric vehicle investments and a sharp downturn in its North American performance. In this region, the company logged a negative profit margin of just over 3%. That's well below the threshold set in 2023, the labor agreement that determines whether bonuses are paid. That's all in the contract. Now, if you contrast this, UAW workers at Ford and GM, they're set to receive sizable checks based on their company's stronger results. Ford employees, as an example, they're getting about $7,000. GM's payouts are going to be about $10,000. Stellantis says it's working hard to turn the page and pointing to product decisions like restoring its V8 power to some Ram pickups and reshaping its lineup around customer demand. But that is going to take some time, Ryan. Meanwhile, these workers are not going to be getting their profit sharing and profit sharing checks.
And you wonder if this is going to be the case for them next year as well. I mean, Stellantis took a $26 billion bath on this turnabout regarding EVs, and everybody's doing it, and it's just incredible. And I feel so look, a bonus you can never count on, but at the same time you expect something, don't you? A little bit. I mean, terrible.
Yep. So this is going to be, and this actually impacts local economy.
100%.
Furniture stores, grocery stores, they see an uptick when these workers get these checks. So this is not just bad news for them. It's bad news for others too.
No doubt about it. All right, Marie, thanks again. We'll talk to you next hour.
Thank you.
All right. I mentioned there's some real problems in the state of Michigan. We're going to talk about those problems because I don't think people realize what's going on in this state. At least that's the results of a statewide poll about the perception of where Michigan is to where we actually are. We're going to discuss that and who is going to tackle these issues. We are opening up the phone lines as well. If you want to get in, 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. What did you make of the governor's State of the State address? What is an issue that matters to you, and who will get the job done? 760 WJR.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COIN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COIN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COIN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Catch From Glory Days, Veterans Edition, sponsored by VetLife, every Sunday at 6 a.m. Inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life. More Glory Days Veterans Editions every Sunday at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
Let's breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Exhale very slowly. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Detroit celebrates the power of women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
From the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, this is 760 WJR. WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, with the expertise and skill of NECA contractors to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential electrical construction project like Essential Electric. NECA member contractors are powering Michigan's future project after project on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org. Traffic is being directed around an accident on Telegraph Road northbound at Stewart Road. We also have a vehicle fire blocking your right lane on US 23 northbound between Plank Road and Carpenter Road. Still have that disabled vehicle on I-75 southbound between East Holly Road and Dixie Highway, and moving roadwork slowing you down on I-75 southbound between Outer Drive and Sibley Road. That's scheduled until 2:30 this afternoon. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Partly cloudy, temperatures near freezing this afternoon. Our lows tonight at 26. Friday, mostly sunny, high 50 degrees. And then it looks like some light snows possible Saturday night, early Sunday morning for us. We're back down in the teens for low temps this weekend, and highs Sunday only in the 20s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk, we'll be live from Ford's Garage, Dearborn on Friday for the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon. Come down and join us in person or tune in as we raise money for those in need. If you want to help, text the keyword bread to 24365 to donate. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
Coming up at 2:48 today, we'll talk to the mayor of Romulus, who is pushing back on the plans to build an ice facility there in Romulus. That was such a big story here earlier in the week. There were protests, counter-protests, clash that happened as well outside of the city City Hall where protesters, anti-ICE protesters, and people who were supportive of ICE got together, and some pushing and shoving going on. But nonetheless, we'll talk to the mayor of Romulus about where the city goes from here. What can the city do to push back on building the ICE facility? And just that conversation, we'll keep it going as the mayor of Romulus joins us at 2:48 today. We are continuing to talk about the State of the State address last night. And look, the Detroit Regional Chamber released results, and this was fascinating to me. I'm not even sure I realized this until I read about this, and I guarantee, well, I don't know if I guarantee. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'm curious as to what you all think of this at 800-859-0WJR. How do people feel about where we are as a state compared to where we actually are as it relates to the other 50 states in the country, or the other 49 states in the country, I should say? So the Detroit Regional Chamber released results of this new statewide poll on the perception of where Michigan is on the issues compared to where we are. And just to give you the Cliff Notes version on this poll, Michigan voters think that the state ranges anywhere from 25 to 28 on a number of key metrics. Think of a topic, and most people believe Michigan as a state is right in the middle of the rankings. If you rank the states 1 to 50, most people believe Michigan is right in the middle on any number of key metrics, which is not great. It's not terrible. It's very average. But the reality is Michigan is nowhere near the middle on anything in any key metric. And that was shocking to me. If people are unaware of the problems that we face as a state, how do you go about fixing them? Here is the reality. The unemployment rate in the state of Michigan ranks 45th out of 50. The average per capita income ranks 40th out of 50. Just to give you perspective on that, in the year 2000, Michigan ranked 16th in per capita income. A quarter century ago, which 25 years is not a long time, but the damage has been done over those 25 years. And we have had Republican governors, Democratic governors, Republican presidents, Democratic presidents. Why has Michigan fallen so far faster than any other state in the country as it relates to average per capita income? We all know about the student performance. We all know that Michigan's educational performance is terrible. In fourth grade reading, 44th out of 50 states. What about attracting high-tech jobs, which is the future, right? The high-tech jobs, 45th out of 50 states. Percentage of population with a college degree, 33rd. It's among the best metrics that we've had, still in the bottom half. How people feel about the state compared to where we actually are as a state is striking to me, because I don't know if people's heads are in the sand or if we just haven't realized how big of problems that we are faced with in the state of Michigan. Very significant challenges. And I'll tell you, if we've got an election coming up in November, I'm sure you've heard of it. If the next governor could fix one of these problems, I think that would be viewed very favorably, because each and every single one of these problems is a huge problem. And maybe you start with the educational aspect of it. I know the governor has really put a ton of money in education, $1 billion over the last 7 years towards education, and we have gotten worse as a state. So I am not the kind of guy that says throwing more money at a problem fixes that problem. We're doing something very wrong here in terms of education. And maybe it's that educational piece that is driving all of these other numbers down. Is Michigan a friendly state to do business? There is a movement towards cutting some of the regulation, cutting some of the red tape, and the governor even mentioned that last night, that is happening. Okay, great. Do we have the workforce behind it? And if you want to just go back to the percentage of population with a college degree, okay, Michigan ranks 33rd there. Our people are leaving. Our college educated people are leaving. I mean, how many of you people, how many of you listening right now know people whose son or daughter or your niece or nephew or your grandchild graduated college and looked out of state for a job? Show of hands. If you're driving, keep your hands on the wheel, actually. I mean, we all know people. The kid graduates from college and you look elsewhere for a job. That's not good for the state of Michigan. We need to keep our talented young people here. That is so important to any successful state. Let me get to the phone lines now. If you want to weigh in, 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. We have to face these problems. Pat in Richmond, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Pat?
Hey, Ryan. I'm doing all right. I heard you listing a number of areas where Michigan is in ranking with the rest of the United States. I'd like to know where our ranking is with energy costs. DTE continues to raise our rates, and they were supposed to, the renewables were supposed to really help alleviate this stuff. The renewables have not. They've made it even, it's gone up even higher because they're inefficient sources of energy. And so it's really, that's another thing that draws money out of people's pocketbook and makes them want to vacate this state.
Pat, I do not have that information in front of me because this Detroit Regional Chamber only took 6 key metrics or 4 or 5 key metrics, whatever I'm looking at now. I can't even count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These metrics, that was not one of them, but cost of living is a big part of it. There's no doubt. I heard a story yesterday about some guy that moved from Tennessee to Michigan, and his out-of-pocket cost just to live in the state as opposed to living in Tennessee cost him about $5,000 more a month. That's not an attractive place to be. Now, I will say, here's something that is good. Michigan's population did grow over the last year. That's a positive. So that is something to look at. Rod in Plymouth, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Rod?
Good. You know, we've gone over this for decades, maybe 5 decades, ever since NAFTA and GAFTA, and when Nixon and everybody went to China. You know, it's like a big vessel of water, and we had the highest quality of living, of income, and everything. And now we're sharing it with the world.
Rod?
Yes.
Rod, I'm up against a break. You bring up an interesting point, though this has been a problem over the last 20, 25 years, even over the last 40 years, I'd say. And it's not one administration. It's several. How do we fix it? And who fixes it? Who gets that job done? 800-859-0957, 760 WJR.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, friends. Bill Golly here. And let's get that New Year's resolution completed with a brand new Jeep during our President's Day sales event at Golly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This month, well-qualified Chrysler employees with lease loyalty can lease a 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for just $319 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down, plus X title plates and dock car extra. So come see our great values at Golly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, or our newest location on Mack in Detroit, or always at Golling.com.
WJR and the Detroit Economic Club are pleased to welcome David Burritt, President and CEO of U.S. Steel, to the podium Thursday, March 12th at the Masonic Temple in Detroit. In a fireside chat with Detroit News' Daniel Howes, Mr. Burritt will discuss what it really takes to rebuild and sustain American industrial strength in a fiercely competitive era. Listen to Focus noon till 2 as we broadcast live. Special coverage sponsored by DFCU Financial. For tickets and more information, visit econclub.org.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier, catching up with Vice President J.D. Vance. He's at a machining facility in Plover, Wisconsin, and says Democrats are to blame for the high cost of living.
Our attitude is, you know what? When you talk about affordability, you're exactly right. You caused an affordability problem, congressional Democrats, and we are here to fix it.
Democrats have credited multiple key election victories last year to criticism of the president's handling of the economy and affordability. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton getting questions from the House Oversight Committee about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Mrs. Clinton says she did not recall ever encountering Epstein and accused the GOP-led committee of using her to distract from President Trump. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says release the Epstein files already.
We're going to pull on every thread. We're going to chase every lead. We'll talk with whistleblowers. We will get to the truth.
Former President Bill Clinton expected to be deposed tomorrow. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We've got some debris on I-94 westbound after Little Mac that's blocking your two right lanes. Police are on the scene there trying to take care of that. I-75 southbound between East Holly Road and Dixie Highway. Steer clear of a disabled vehicle that's blocking your right shoulder. More construction on I-96 eastbound between Kensington Road and Novi Road. That's closing your shoulder, actually. The left shoulder and the flex lane are blocked. Should reopen in about 15 minutes or so. Telegraph Road, northbound at Stewart Road. We have an accident. Traffic being directed around the accident area there. And steer clear of a disabled vehicle on US 23 northbound between Plank Road and Carpenter Road. That's due to that earlier vehicle fire. Firefighters have actually put that out. We do have police and wreckers on the scene there. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of clouds and sun today, a high of 32. Few passing clouds for tonight, a low near 25. Mostly sunny for Friday with a high near 50. I'm Rich Fluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
Most drivers don't think about their auto insurance until an accident happens. But the choices you make today can shape the care you receive tomorrow. In Michigan, unlimited medical benefits may help cover long-term treatment, in-home nursing and recovery services after a serious crash. AdvisorCare supports auto accident victims every day, helping them heal safely at home. Take a moment to understand your coverage and learn more at advisorcare.com. Here's Paul W. Smith.
I'd like to invite you to see the incredible Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons for their last show in Detroit. This will be a very special event on Mother's Day, May 10th, at the Detroit Opera House. The legendary Frankie Valli, capturing fans with hits like Walk Like a Man, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, and more, for years. Frankie Valli, May 10th at the Detroit Opera House.
Tickets on sale February 27th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com or the venue box office. Metro Detroit, you know the voices that keep our region moving. From the morning headlines to your drive home, 760 WJR is always in your corner. Now it's time to make your voice heard. Help us crown the best in the biz. We're asking for your vote for Paul W. Smith and Ryan Ermanni in our magazine's Best of Detroit 2026. Whether it's Paul's legendary insight on focus or Ryan's unfiltered energy on JR Afternoon, they bring the stories that matter most to Michigan. Head to OurDetroit.com and cast your ballot today. Let's show the D why WJR is the great voice of the Great Lakes. That's OurDetroit.com. Vote now.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer delivering her State of the State address last night in Lansing. And look, you have to hand it to her. She is a skilled politician. The command she had up there at the microphone was tremendous. And I mentioned she's got the best approval rating of any two-term governor in the state of Michigan leaving office since Romney. She is doing something right. All the while, Michigan is in decline. When it comes to unemployment, when it comes to average per capita income, when it comes to student performance in education, in reading, in attracting high-tech jobs, near the bottom, 45th out of 50, 40th out of 50, 44th out of 50, 45th out of 50. It's incredible from where we actually are to where people actually think we are. Larry in Grand Blanc, you're first up here, 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great. We have 3 sons we raised in Grand Blanc, and they're all graduated now and working, paying taxes. One's a physician in Cleveland. The other one is a civil engineer in Nashville, Tennessee, and one's an oral surgeon in Lansing. There's only one out of the 3 that stayed in the state. They all have advanced degrees, and looking at their friends, the kids that they grew up with in high school, I would say at least 80% of those kids have left the state.
That you are the perfect, Larry, you are the perfect person to discuss this with then, because I think I think that is one of the most important parts of the next governor's job is to make sure that our educated, hardworking professionals, young people, have an opportunity in this state. And you know what? If they want to go to Chicago, if they want to go to New York, if they want to go to these places, obviously it's a free country. You can do that. But give them an opportunity to make them make a decision. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, you would know this with 3 boys and all of their friends. Was there an opportunity in Michigan that they had to weigh? And I just don't know if that's the case.
No, not really. The oral surgeon, he did get his initial job was in Virginia, but it wasn't a good situation business-wise or practice-wise. So he came back to Michigan because there was an opening. There's a real need for oral surgeons in this state, believe me. But people won't come. They don't want to come, and I don't know. I think part of it's the reimbursement, and I don't understand it, because if you look at the education and higher ed in this state and the opportunities, you've got Wayne State, you've got Eastern Michigan, you've got University of Michigan, you got Central, you've got Western, you've got Northern, you've got all these, and all the community colleges and the little colleges interspersed, Oakland University. I don't get it. I think there's a problem really with what these kids are being taught and what they're being prepared to do. I think that's a big problem. I think that's a problem in public education. My sister's on the school board in Traverse City, and she can tell you that. She is very upset and working on reading and math in Traverse City. It's horrible.
Larry, until or unless they reverse course and change curriculum to a phonics-based reading education or curriculum, I should say. That's the word I was looking for. I'm not sure anything is going to change. It's almost like you're just throwing money towards down a black hole because the money is there. You've spent $1 billion and have gotten worse in education. Worse.
Absolutely. I can't agree with you more. And the other thing is just when we moved to Flint, or moved the Flint area in the 70s, and at that time, the per capita income in Flint, or the family income in Flint, was $90,000 a year. It was second only to Anchorage, Alaska.
It's incredible.
And now you look at Flint, there's 6,500 GM jobs in Flint. And, it's devastating.
Well, not only that, Larry, not only that, but just fast forward to 2000. I mean, from the 70s to 2000, when you looked at the 50 states, Michigan ranked 16th in per capita income in 2000. No state has fallen further in that time than Michigan from 2020 to 2026. And as I mentioned, and thanks so much for the call, Larry, I appreciate it. No state has fallen further. In 26 years, I mentioned we've had Republican governors and Democratic governors and Republican presidents and Democratic presidents. This ping pong ball back and forth, I don't know if it's worked out so great. In fact, it hasn't worked out so great. These policies are not helping the people of Michigan. They're just not. And yes, I give the governor a ton of credit for getting a lot of these roads and bridges fixed. She gets a ton of credit for Selfridge and keeping that air base going. Ton of credit. She's done a lot of good things, but on a lot of the big things, we've gotten worse at. And I think the November election, whoever believes that they have, not only the talking points, and I hear the talking points, there's so many talking points. I want to talk to somebody that really has a solution that can happen. Who's got the idea that they can get through and it can work? Because we look at Mississippi and you look at a number of different issues. You know where the business is going. I talked about the population shift in the country, where people are leaving from and where people are going. The blueprints are out there to get a lot of this stuff done over the course of time. And you got to get on board. Paul in Leonard, you're on 760 WJR. Hi, Paul.
Well, I just want to, my daughter lives in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, and I wish she lived here. I've got a number of houses. I offered her a free house, but no, she has a job in Jackson, Mississippi, because there are no opportunities for her here. Okay. And she makes, 6 figures times 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's 30 years old. So they just don't exist here.
That's the problem.
Part of it is the way we're taxed here. I mean, our property taxes are out of control. They literally are out of control. Okay.
Paul, that's Paul, that's a big problem. I'm up against it. I'm sorry, I wanted to get you in before the break. I think that is what you just said is a huge problem. Your daughter makes a couple $100,000 a year, and where is that job for her here? Plus the taxes, taxed like crazy. The mayor of Romulus talking about those ICE detention center, the ICE detention center in Romulus, the potential of that. We'll talk to the mayor next. 760 WJR.
privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. If you'd like to discuss a lawsuit, text WORD to 323232, WORD to 323232, WORD to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Tonight, someone in our community will need a warm bed. Tomorrow, they'll need a meal. You can help make both possible. Join the club that's here for good by texting BREAD to 24365. Your support helps provide over 71,000 nights of shelter and more than 1.6 million meals a year. Tune in to the Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR, Friday, February 27th.
Michigan's winter forecast is snow, snow, and more snow. And for a little variety, ice. Since that means slippery roads, stay safe by following these driving tips. Don't use cruise control on ice and snow. Use turn signals sooner to give others more time to react. Keep your car's fluids, tires, and wipers well maintained. And most important of all, drive slow on ice and snow. Sponsored by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Traffic is being directed around an accident on Telegraph Road northbound at Stewart Road. We've got some slowdowns on I-94 westbound between I-75 and Linwood Street. Also on I-94 eastbound between West Grand Boulevard and Woodward Avenue. And that disabled vehicle on 75 southbound between East Holly Road and Dixie Highway has cleared. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Another cold snap coming in for early March. Looks like some more teens for low temps for the weekend ahead. We're at 33 this afternoon, 26 tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 50 degrees. Mostly cloudy Saturday, 42. Some light snow Saturday night, colder, 19. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
One of the big stories locally earlier this week, and obviously moving forward, is the potential of this new ICE detention center in Romulus. Very little has been disclosed about any timeline for when this facility would be renovated, ultimately become operational. The Romulus City Council unanimously approved a resolution opposing the federal government's plan. To help us talk about this, to see where we are right now with this, the mayor of the city of Romulus, Robert McCrate. Mayor McCrate, thanks so much for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having interest in the story and also having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So first, for our audience, walk us through where we are with this. What happened? How did this come to be?
It's a great question. We still have no formal communication from Department of Homeland Security on the issue. We've been able to work with our staff and some other legislative officials in the city of, or the state of Michigan in order to find a paper trail. We found some documents as late as last night that officially show the intention to use the site on Cogswell as a detention center for ICE, but no official communication. It's really been about due diligence and digging through paperwork to find a confirming document.
What can you do as a mayor or the city government do in order to get or require any documentation or any update or any information for your constituents when it comes to apparently a federally owned property now?
It's been very frustrating. We've worked with Senator Peters' office, Senator Slotkin's office, also Congresswoman Dingell and Tlaib have also been very instrumental in helping, but we continue to reach up the chain of command and talk to our counterparts in D.C. And I can't say enough about Congressman Dingell and Congresswoman Tlaib. Neither one of them represent Romulus anymore, but they've been very helpful in this process to try to find some definitive evidence of what's going on. So we've worked through the chain of command. We found some different breadcrumbs here, different breadcrumbs there. But yesterday we were able to locate a document on the Department of Homeland Security's website regarding floodplains, odd enough, that shows their clear direction and intention to use that site on Cogswell. But it's definitely a new process. We've never had to deal with this before. We initially, in order to engage and have some contact with representatives of the Department of Homeland Security, we tagged the building as normal with the vacant building in the city of Romulus to find out who purchased the building, what the intended use was for it. And even when we tagged the building, we still saw no formal communication from Homeland Security.
What are your residents telling you about the potential for this?
They're very concerned. We're already an overburdened and underserved community. We house one of the biggest economic engines in the state of Michigan in DTW. And we're a small community. We don't have the resources of a Seattle or Detroit or any of the major cities. So it's already a drain on our public safety. We had a huge protest in front of City Hall the other night, even though it was orderly for the most part, and it wasn't really protesting the city of Romulus, but just in that alone and the overtime cost to make sure we had PD out there to keep everybody safe, because public safety is always going to be first and foremost here. So it's just something we don't have the resources for. So we're looking for any other avenues to help offset some of the negative impact. While I have police officers here, that means I don't have them in the neighborhood taking care of our residents.
Talking to Romulus Mayor Robert McCrate. Mr. Mayor, it is ICE and illegal immigration has been such a hot button issue, perhaps unlike any other issue in the country. It's a lightning rod topic. Where are you in terms of local government working with the federal government in terms of ICE officers, border security, and do you just oppose the facility in your neighborhood, or do you oppose it altogether?
It's a great question. It is a lightning rod of a topic right now in our country, let alone Michigan and my city. But really, my job and my responsibilities to my community don't allow me to let my feelings play into this. This is about the city of Romulus, our zoning ordinances, and our ability to regulate what comes in here. This will be an incredibly negative impact. If it was a private user, we wouldn't allow any kind of a detention facility or a prison or a jail, whatever you want to call it, in an area that close for residential. I mean, we have new residential, 100 new homes that were built there less than a year ago, less than a mile away. We have elementary schools a mile and a half away. So it's just a terrible location for this site. It might make sense for them in its proximity to Willow Run Airport, but if it was a private organization, we would never allow this in our community.
It's on Monday when Monday or Tuesday, I don't know, my days get so screwed up, Mr. Mayor, I don't even know. But when we talked about this initially, because I think there's two different conversations going on here, one of the things is, look, I wouldn't want in anybody listening right now, for the most part, and you never 100% of anything, for the most part, I would venture a guess to say most of us would not want a jail to be plopped in the middle of our neighborhood. No, most people, I think, would say that. Also, at the same time, there is absolutely a need for this, probably. And how do you juxtapose those two very different issues moving forward as a local government? I don't know what you do moving forward in order to stop it.
I think you're 100% right. At the end of the day, we don't have jurisdiction over the federal government. We're going to do everything we can, and we'll leave no stone unturned, but we don't have jurisdiction over the federal government. And you're right, we do need to have some kind of a detention facility or a jail. It's a product of society, right? But we can't make decisions based on economics. We got to think about quality of life. And so we have residents that live there who just invested in their new home. And right off the bat, I got to believe their property values are going to take a hit. And Romulus has struggled to bring new homes and rooftops here. It's been a goal of my administration to grow economically. We've had a lot of success bringing jobs and tax base to the area, new rooftops. And it's just another blow to a small community that's trying to turn the corner. Like I said, just housing DTW in the airport district, we have more hotels in Romulus than anybody in Wayne County. And we're trying to clean that area up. 80% of the crime in Romulus are committed by people who don't live here. So we're trying to police those things and take care of them, and we made a lot of progress, and our numbers are down as far as crime rates. But this is just something we don't need. We're on the uptick here, and you want to come into a residential area. So yeah, I guess the answer to your question is yes, they're needed. Got to have them somewhere, but this is a terrible location. Next to a neighborhoods and schools is just a terrible decision.
I don't think anybody can blame that sort of reasoning either. I mean, I said it the other day. I'll say it again. I would not want it in my neighborhood. I do believe there's a need for it somewhere, but I know that's even terrible to say. Not in my neighborhood, but it's okay in your neighborhood. But it feels like that's among the big issues here. What can you do now? What is the next step for you as you work towards some sort of resolution, or at the very least being kept up to speed to alert your residents of what's happening here?
That's a great question too. It's all, there's no playbook on this, right? We're in uncharted waters. So like I said, I have a very smart team that's working very hard with our legal department and key state and federal legislators to say, what are our options? What can we find? As late as last night is when we discovered this document on the DHS website about the floodplain. So those calls came in to be about 7 o'clock last night. And so we're working nonstop on this thing. What are our best options? And I also want to say that we did receive letters of support in our initiatives from Senator Peters and Slotkins, and that came out yesterday as well. So that'll be released. We'll release copies of those on our city webpage just to let people know that we're not alone, we're being heard. And we're working with our state and federal legislators on this issue.
I really appreciate you coming on and discussing this. I hope we can continue this conversation. I think it's an important conversation to have. Thank you so much, Mayor McCray.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.
You got it. You got absolutely. Romulus Mayor Robert McCray. We'll take your phone calls coming up next at the top of the hour. We'll check in with Marie on some of the top stories as well. Don't go anywhere. This is 760 WJR. Hour number 2 straight ahead.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Enlisting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
We're on Instagram at WJR Radio. This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Round one for the Clintons. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee just emerging from a closed-door deposition with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in the panel's Epstein probe.
Secretary Clinton never met Jeffrey Epstein. She never visited the island. She never flew on his plane. And she also had no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's horrific crimes.
Congressman Robert Garcia also says President Trump is in the Epstein files more than former President Bill Clinton, who is also set to give a deposition tomorrow. New York City's Democratic Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani holding a second meeting with President Trump.
The White House is not confirming the meeting, but a spokesperson for the mayor did, and it's not exactly clear what the two plan to talk about.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The New York Times reporting that housing is part of the focus.
The last time these two met in the Oval Office, President Trump did voice support for Mamdani's plans to build affordable housing in the city.
That first meeting was in November after Mamdani was elected. No deal yet between the U.S. and Iran after a third round of nuclear talks, this time in Geneva, and still mediated by Oman. The U.S. delegation led by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff.
Witkoff says a future deal is not going to have a built-in expiration date, unlike Barack Obama's ill-fated JCPOA. He reportedly told donors yesterday, quote, "We start with the premise that there is no sunset provision. You have to behave for the rest of your lives."
Fox's Jillian Turner, Iran's foreign minister, telling State TV today's round of indirect talks was one of the most intense, and that technical talks will be held next week in Vienna, which is home to the UN's nuclear watchdog agency. So far, Iran has insisted publicly that it has a right to enrich uranium for peaceful purposes. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have an accident on Telegraph Road northbound at Stewart Road. Traffic is being directed around that accident. Expect slowdowns on I-94 eastbound between West Grand Boulevard and Woodward Avenue, and on I-94 westbound between I-75 and Linwood Street. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of clouds and sun today, a high of 32. A few passing clouds for tonight. We'll drop down to 25. Mostly sunny for Friday with a high near 50. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR traffic and weather first.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, upgrade to a Tempur-Pedic and learn how you can get 3% back plus an instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
You're hearing the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. It's more than news. It's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
Hour number 2 of the program. Welcome in on a Thursday, February 26th. Hopefully everybody's having a great day, off and running as we head into the weekend tomorrow. Quick programming note tomorrow. JR Afternoon will air 4 to 7 p.m. tomorrow. We are actually going to do the old switcheroo with the Mitch Albom show. Mitch Albom is going to be on from 2 to 4, and our JR Afternoon show is going to be on from 4 to 7. I will be co-hosting with Jamie Edmonds as the 39th annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon kicks off and finishes up tomorrow at 7 p.m., I should say. It begins coming up 4 o'clock today. So we've got a 27-hour radiothon that begins at 4 o'clock and runs through 7 p.m. tomorrow. So the Mitch Albom show and us here on JR Afternoon will do the old flip-flop. So look for that tomorrow. We just had the mayor of Romulus on talking about this ICE detention center, this potential ICE detention center there. So many people on hold want to weigh in on this. I'm going to get to you momentarily. Stay right there. But first, I want to get you caught up on some news now. Marie Osborne will check in with new data from Statistics Canada that shows a steep drop in Canadian travel to the United States last year. Let's bring in Marie with more on some of these statistics. Staggering, Marie.
Yeah, when you really stop and look at this, 10 million fewer trips taken compared to 2024. That's a 25% slide overall. And the impact here in Michigan is particularly sharp. Visit Detroit says Southeast Michigan alone saw a 30% decline in visitors from across the river. That's a major blow for our hotels, restaurants, and attractions. They've long relied on steady Canadian traffic. Now, while travel from other U.S. states helped keep Detroit's overall tourism numbers stable, local business groups say the region functions as a shared economy, and fewer Canadian customers ripple through downtown shops, bars, and entertainment venues. Kyle Sparkman is a managing director and the head of Alliance Global Assistance Canada. It's a travel insurance company. And he said in a recent interview that Canadian snowbirds are choosing other destinations like the Caribbean, Central and South America, even Cuba, as places to spend the winter rather than here with us in the States. So it's down overall in the country. He says travelers have expressed being uncomfortable traveling to the U.S. due to the political climate and the rhetoric directed at Canada coming from the White House. And again, this is not just the snowbirds curtailing travel to the U.S., Ryan. Same-day trips for those sports and concerts were hit particularly hard.
We love you, Canada. Come on now, Canada.
Love Canada.
You know,
I love you, Canada.
You know, how you feel about people and business elements to things can be two completely different things. We love our Canadian friends. Please.
I agree. I remember growing up, our Canadian friends would come across the border so that we could all go to Red Wings games together when we would play when the Wings would play a Canadian team, right? I mean, those are such great memories. So yeah, we hope that this is not a new chapter. Hopefully it's just a bump in the ride.
So many of our great listeners here on 760 WJR are just across the Detroit River. So we want to let them know that we love you, and hopefully you don't take it personally.
I say it all the time. I say it all the time on the air too, Ryan. I do. We love you, Canada.
Love you, Canada. Thank you, Marie.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. All right. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0WJR. It is among the biggest lightning rod topics in the country right now. ICE and what to do about illegal immigration. The story earlier this week that the city of Romulus had a facility, an abandoned building purchased by the federal government to be renovated and used as a ICE facility, an ICE detention center, had a lot of people up in arms this week. The Romulus City Council unanimously approved a resolution. Not even sure what that means because they probably can't do much about it. We just talked to the mayor of Romulus, who was kind enough to join us and share his perspective, Robert McCrate. I'll tell you where I stand on it, and I told him where I stood on it. I would not want an ICE facility built in my neighborhood either. But I do believe there is a need for them. There's no doubt about that. He agreed with both points. Let me get to Vince in Northville. You are on 760 WJR. Hi, Vince.
Hey, Ryan. How are you, sir?
Good, buddy.
Hey, thank you for taking up this topic. Okay, I am former military, okay? The logistics of this is stupid. Romulus does not need this facility, okay? The proper execution for this is very, very simple. Run this through Selfridge Air Base, okay? There's hundreds of acres around that air base where the Army engineers can get over there, just like they did to all of us in Afghanistan and Iraq, and build temporary shelters, okay? If I was good enough to sit in a plywood container, these people can do it, okay? Number one, we've got C-17s and C-130 cargo. We can go ahead, do a temporary area right there, get these people in, get them processed, get them fingerprinted, get them onto the tarmac, get them loaded, and get them flown out of here. We don't need to put these people in Romulus in a building that is going to be a civilian threat. We have no idea who's going in there. If somebody breaks out, now the civilian population in harm's way. Okay, I really feel for ICE. I get it, but don't be lazy. Move these people to a military installation away from the military area, process them, and get them out of here. You can do your mid-air refueling to whatever country of origin that you got to transfer them and turn that into a mini Detroit Metropolitan Airport. Just round-the-clock flights, process, fingerprint, picture, stamp on the plane, juice box, ham, turkey sandwich, and get them out of here. This is not a difficult idea.
You got it, Vince. And look, I will say this. I don't know if it's up to ICE to be doing these things. It's a much bigger policy decision from the Department of Homeland Security, right? I mean, that's not a decision that ICE makes.
Well, it's all part of a joint military operation. When the rubber meets the road, they are a form of law enforcement, national security, so they can run hand in hand, and they could be easily adaptable. Okay, we're looking at the ease of adaptability to execute a mission. Okay, we don't know these people. Look, my heart feels for anybody that's in this country, but look, I wouldn't come over to your house, Ryan, kick in the door, jump into your refrigerator, start turning on your cable and saying, guess what, you're taking care of me. I feel for these people.
No doubt.
But guess what? There's a process that needs to be done, and it needs to be done legally. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be cold.
Nobody is. And Vince, I think a lot of people agree with you on this. I want to get one more in before the break, and then we can continue on here. But Jim and Crystal, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm actually snowbirding, but I listen to the show every day.
I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Do you listen online or watch on YouTube?
I stream it.
There you go. Look at that. I appreciate that, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, I'm a modern guy for 72, you know?
I love it. I love it, Jim.
Hey,
what do you
can I
got?
have two comments?
Sure.
Can I have two comments?
You may.
Okay. First of all, I would like all the Michiganders out there listening to remember that Senator Gary Peters was the ranking member of Homeland Security during the Biden administration. More than once, I called his office and asked what he was doing about it. I never even got responses. Okay, that's item one.
All right.
Number two, Gretchen Whitmer in her new budget is proposing a pretty good size increase to our state-funded universities. You know, they practice no restraint. They just raise their rates or their whatever. You know? Ford. Look at GM and Ford. They tried that, and they're damn near out of business.
Jim,
Jim,
I gotta say this. I gotta say this. It was, you know, I listened to the speech last night. I listened to some parts over again, and some of the free this and free that. It's not free. Somebody is paying for it. Where is the money coming from? And then you look at the budget. I mean, you go 7 years ago. Michigan budget, state budget of what, you know, 58 billion. Now it's like 88 billion. I mean, where is this money going? How 50% increase in the budget.
And I'm encouraging all your listeners to call their legislators and don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't vote for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's that simple. The people are the people. Reagan, I think it was Reagan, the silent majority. People sit here. They're working two jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Or both young couples are raising a family. They really don't have time to digest this stuff.
No doubt. Jim, I appreciate you. I'm so glad you are up on the stream, baby. We love it. We invite you to check out the YouTube stream. You can watch us, pop us up on your TV, and you can watch us and go about your day however you want to. I am going to play for you my favorite video on the internet right now. It is the best video you will ever hear, and I'll do that for you next. 760 WJR.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus an extra $100 off all mattresses. And Saturday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund. Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Catch From Glory Days, Veterans Edition, sponsored by VetLife, every Sunday at 6 a.m. Inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life. More Glory Days Veterans Editions every Sunday at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Mary Grove Awnings. You built the deck, you bought the grill. Now stop letting the sun push you around. Mary Grove Awnings, motorized, built tough, click the remote, instant shade, and they can install in as little as 48 hours. Go to marygrove.com and book your free in-home appointment. Mary Grove, own your backyard. We've got some slow traffic on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. Also on I-94 eastbound between Warren and Mount Elliott Street, an accident slowing you down on the southbound Southfield Freeway at Ford Road. That's blocking your right shoulder. And we picked up a wreck on US 23 northbound approaching M59. You're slow from Heine Road. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Near freezing this afternoon and mid-20s for tonight. Temperatures just about average for this time of February. Warmer than average numbers tomorrow. Mostly sunny, a high 50 degrees. And then it looks like some cloudy weather coming in for the weekend with the potential for some light snows Saturday night, Sunday morning. Lows down in the teens again for the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk, we'll be live from Ford's Garage, Dearborn on Friday for the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon. Come down and join us in person or tune in as we raise money for those in need. If you want to help, text the keyword bread to 24365 to donate. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
760 WJR. Let me take Paul in Northville before I get to my favorite video on the internet currently. Hi, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
Real good, real good. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm struggling, getting old, but that's okay.
Oh,
I like the guy that called from Florida, but you know what? We go down there, and we still see a lot of Canadians, so I don't know where they're getting that report from.
Well, it's all financial. It's all, yeah. I mean, you can look at the border numbers. There's numbers out there. I mean, it's fine. It's good.
Well, the guys that have been coming down there for years still go down there to golf, and the women go down there to enjoy themselves. And anyway,
God bless
about
them.
that. But I love Canada, and I love the Canadian hockey team. But go USA, and I'm very pro all that type of stuff. We have two great countries, and we should work together.
Amen.
Now, last thing, I like the guy who called and said, take these people who are deemed illegal and put them up at Selfridge Air Force Base. I don't know why the people down in Romulus has a problem, but I understand it better now that they put new subdivisions in down there.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want that in your neighborhood, would you? I mean, honestly, Paul, you wouldn't want them to plop some ICE detention center in the middle of Northville. Let's be honest.
I know that, and that's why I'm scratching my head saying I didn't know they built all these homes down there. So, but that's great. Now, one other thing, these new computer things that they're trying to put all these
data
in
centers
areas of the. Thank you. We have places in Detroit that are just abandoned. Let's give the person who's living in that house that's not worth anything $100,000. Say we're going to help you move to Royal Oak or wherever. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not the issue with the issue with data centers is a much bigger issue than I think people just don't know about them. I think the conversation on data centers is so skewed to the negative because people are just unaware of what impact they would have on you, what impact they would have on your community, what impact they would have on your energy bills. And I believe the president is calling all of these people to the White House, everybody from big tech to the White House, I believe next week, even saying, hey, you have to build your own energy for these places if you want to get them up and running. I believe that's going to happen next week or next month. I think it's going to happen next week, not next month. Well, I guess next week is next month, so maybe I'm safe if I say either. But I think everybody believes that data centers are necessary, right? I mean, anything moving forward, we talk about these attracting high-tech jobs and high-tech opportunities. You've got to have a data center to do that. You've got to. Nobody wants the data center in their neighborhood because we just don't know enough about it right now. So all of the conversation has been negative. It's been completely hijacked in the negative. And I'm not sure how you get it back to being more neutral or how you get people to change their minds these days. Thanks so much, Paul. I appreciate the call. How do you get people to change their minds on anything these days? And that leads me to my favorite clip on the internet. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a reporter for the Daily Wire. Her name is Brecca Stoll. And she went to Georgetown University on Monday to ask students about the State of the Union address and what they thought about the State of the Union address. Well, here's the deal. The State of the Union was on Tuesday. It hadn't even happened yet. So take a listen to this video. Becca Stoll, reporter for the Daily Wire, asking students at George Washington University, very elite university on the East Coast, what they thought of President Trump's State of the Union address that didn't even happen yet.
College kids are telling us Trump's State of the Union didn't go so well. The only problem, it's tomorrow. Rate Trump's State of the Union speech 1 out of 10. 1's the worst, 10's the best. Negatives. And why? I think we all know a lot of reasons. Yeah. What about the State of the Union last night? 1 to 10.
It was like a 1 or 2. I mean, it was all over the place.
Probably just giving this gonna give it a 1. And why do you say 1?
I don't think he's very articulate.
How did Trump do at the State of the Union?
0. I'll be real, I didn't watch it.
I didn't really watch it much. I watched it for a little bit, but the State of the Union last night. How was that? 1 to 10.
No, it was last night. That was tomorrow.
No, you're good. You passed the test. Good job.
One person was like, it's tomorrow. And then you even had somebody say, I watched a little bit of it. I couldn't get through it. I mean, Beth Ann, what is going on with your generation? What are people doing? What is wrong with your generation?
Well, at least it's not all of us, but I know so many people my age just like do not care about politics, especially now. And they just, I don't know, they just want nothing to do with it.
Beth Ann, I think your answer right there was the best. It's not all of us. It's not all of us, but it just goes to show you how predetermined our minds are on so many things. How many times do I come in here and say, the Super Bowl halftime show was a perfect example. Even before the Super Bowl halftime show even happened, Democrats made up their minds about it already. Republicans made up their minds about it already. And it didn't even happen yet. And that is where we are. Same with last night, whether it's the State of the State, the State of the Union address on Tuesday. We don't make up our minds anymore based on what we see. We make up our minds based on what we perceive things to be. And I think that's a big problem for so many people moving forward. I look at the problems that we have in our state. The example that I've been telling you, a couple of people have asked me, more than a couple of people have asked me about yesterday and just being in Lansing and seeing all the politicians and having access to all of these really great people. I mean, I truly believe that people that run for state office, national office, people that run for public service, I think they want to do good. I genuinely believe all of them. Now, how they go about getting there, how they go about accomplishing, the American dream or lowering costs or making things more affordable. Those are two different policy angles. But nonetheless, people want to do good. And then they get into these atmospheres and are like, you realize nothing can get done. Very little can get done in the political climate that we're in right now, where especially college kids coming out of college, speech didn't even happen yet. And they're rating it a 1. Negative. I watched a little bit of it. No, you didn't. You're lying. You're just so partisan. People are so partisan these days. What happened to the middle? What happened to the middle? Can we get back to the middle? Go issue by issue. Remove the layers in so many different ways. Coming right back, 760 WJR.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Your business isn't one size fits all, and your IT partner shouldn't be either. At Callisto Group, we provide cybersecurity-focused managed IT services designed around your business, offering personalized support, proactive monitoring, and experts who know your company by name. There's no call centers, no guesswork, just seamless technology and trusted partnership. Discover the difference at CallistoGroup.com. That's CALYSTO Group.com.
Tonight, someone in our community will need a warm bed. Tomorrow, they'll need a meal. You can help make both possible. The Salvation Army's Bed and Bread program provides over 71,000 nights of shelter and more than 1.6 million meals every year because people like you care. Donate today by texting BREAD to 24365. That's BREAD to 24365. Join the club that's here for good.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says she does not ever recall meeting Jeffrey Epstein. She accused the Republican-led House Oversight Committee of using her as a distraction during a deposition today. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal.
She said the demand for her testimony from the committee appeared motivated by partisan politics, writing that the committee should instead focus on a full release of the Epstein files, including anything redacted that could implicate President Trump.
Former President Bill Clinton will testify before the panel Friday. Iran and the U.S. held hours of indirect negotiations over Tehran's nuclear program, but walked away without a deal. Fox's Jillian Turner.
Negotiators led by Steve Witkoff on the U.S. side met in a neutral setting in Geneva today. Radio silence so far is what we're hearing from the Trump administration about what has transpired.
Trump wants a deal to constrain Iran's nuclear program. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Audible. It's time to take care of you. Who better to help you than the top voices in well-being on Audible? Kickstart your well-being journey with your first audiobook free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com/wellbeing.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is also sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Over 60% of us will use our tax refund towards a home improvement project this year. Upgrade your roof with Weather Seal Home Improvements and add an extra $1,000 to your refund toward your new roof. That's a smart deal. Book your roof inspection today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. That's weathersealhomeimprovements.net. We have an accident on I-75 northbound, the off-ramp to 11 Mile. Slow traffic on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. Another wreck on US 23 northbound approaching M59. You're slow from I-96 there. Some good news, that wreck on the southbound Southfield Freeway at Ford Road has cleared. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A mix of clouds and sun to close out the afternoon. We'll stay in the low 30s. A few passing clouds for tonight, dropping down to 25. Mostly sunny for Friday with a high near 50. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease.
All right, coming in 3 into coming up at, well, should I say 4 o'clock? or 2 o'clock. Oh, just say JR afternoon. Coming up. Dang. Coming up on JR Afternoon, we are live from the 39th Annual Salvation Army's Bed and Bread Radiothon. We'll be out there all day raising money for, darn it. Coming up on JR Afternoon, we are live in Dearborn at Ford's Garage for the 39th Annual Salvation Army's Bed and Bread Radiothon, raising money to fight hunger and homelessness in Metro Detroit. We'll talk to Tim Allen coming up. Metro Detroit's own will do that and so much more. JR Afternoon, 760 WJR. Okay, and then how about this? Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, the state's bottle deposit law that was created. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, the state's bottle deposit law created in the 70s. Dang it. God. Coming up at 2 o'clock on 7. Jesus, I feel so pressured. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, the state's bottle deposit law that was created in the 70s, is it about to go away? We'll talk about that. And should it go away? 760 WJR.
Download the free Upside app and use promo code COIN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COIN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
But visit econclub.org.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spot. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on is joining us now. He's the co-founder of True Blue Streaming Crime Network.
The Oakland County child killer 50 years later. Friday night at 8. WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
It is going to be one of the most impactful 27 hours coming up here, and we are so thrilled to be a part of it once again. It is the Bed and Bread Radiothon, the 39th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Radiothon. To help us talk about it, the Executive Director for the Salvation Army, Great Lakes Harbor Light, Jamie Winkler, joins us now. Jamie, thanks so much for the time, my friend. How are you today?
I am doing well, but I'm also doing a little cold because it is so freezing outside. But we are out passing out hot meals and hot chocolate and trying to keep everyone warm this season.
But isn't that, what you guys do, that you are out there every day, no matter what, helping our community. And that is why it is our turn to help you, to help you continue that work. Isn't that what it's all about?
You're right. Today we're serving approximately 4,500 meals and we're providing about 200 nights of shelter. And we do this every single day of the year, no matter what the weather is. I was on the bed and bread truck today, and I was talking to my driver, and I'm like, we're more reliable than the post office is. We are out there every single day, no matter what's going on.
How important is this radiothon, the money that you raise, to your organization? What impact does that mean for you?
Well, being on the truck, that's a good question. And being on that truck, and just even this afternoon, seeing the people that we're helping out, I mean, that's what this is about. It's about the spirit of Detroit. It's about seeing the needs of homeless individuals that are struggling to make ends meet and to just stay warm and to get food in their bellies. That's what this is about. And so I want your listeners to know that our radiothon starts in just a few moments here at 4 p.m. and it's matched from Fifth Third Bank. All donations from 4 p.m. till 5:59 a.m. tomorrow will be matched dollar for dollar up to $20,000. And this is very important. This is our main push for the year for the next 12 months. And for those that we're helping, they rely on us. This, for so many people, is the only meal that they're going to get for the day. And we wonder, how can we respond? How can we help? And it's as simple as texting BREAD, BREAD, to 24365, and you can give right now to make a difference.
No doubt about it. And I want to give that out again. You can text BREAD, just the word BREAD, BREAD. That's 24365 if you'd like to give. That is open now. Also, if you want to visit sametrodetroit.org. That website again, sametrodetroit.org. You can donate that way right now as well. But again, the Radiothon begins at 4 p.m. today and goes through 7 p.m. tomorrow. We're excited to be a part of that, Jamie, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. It's raising money for a great cause, but we're going to have some fun doing it as well, are we not?
Oh, absolutely. It's rewarding to be part of this. It's rewarding to hear stories of how lives are changed through this program. Just the other day, we helped out a woman who was taking shelter at a bus stop, and she was really having a hard time staying warm. And so from that bed and bread truck, not only did she get a hot meal, but then we provided transportation for her right into our shelter. And to know that this program and what we do impacts lives in that kind of way, it is fun. It's rewarding to be part of such a wonderful opportunity to make a significant difference.
No doubt about it. And I want to acknowledge Dick Purton as well, who back in 1988 helped start this. And this has continued to grow each and every year. We're hoping to raise over $1 million. And I just think that community effort for a shared goal is something that cannot be overlooked. And I think days like today are so important moving forward. What do you say to that?
WJR and your amazing listeners make such a huge difference. And you're right, we've been doing this 39 years. And the Salvation Army, all of this started with two individuals that were filled with compassion. And that's who the Salvation Army is. That's who WJR is. That's who your listeners are, we're filled with compassion. We see a need, and we show up and we make a difference, a meaningful difference. And, just $120 a month will feed 5 people for the entire month, just 120. When I think of how far $120 goes for me at the grocery store, that's maybe 2 or 3 meals. But the fact that I can feed 5 people for an entire month for $120 a month, that's a pretty easy gift to give. And so we certainly want to encourage everyone to be very compassionate, especially these next 2 days.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jamie. Our great listeners here at 760 WJR care about the community, want to be a part of helping our neighbors, helping our brothers and sisters get a hand up. Thank you so much. Cannot wait to see you tomorrow at Ford's Garage. We'll be in the 4 to 7 time slot to close it out, so we'll look forward to that. Jamie Winkler, Executive Director for the Salvation Army Great Lakes Harbor Light, previewing the Salvation Army Radiothon. Again, you can go there right now. You can text the word BREAD, BREAD, to 24365, or visit them online, sametrodetroit.org. Jamie, thanks so much, my friend.
Thanks, Ryan.
You got it. Steve Courtney coming up next, 760 WJR.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Like many of you, I got LASIK surgery back in the 90s. Recently, I started having trouble seeing, and it turns out they never told us LASIK doesn't last forever. So now what? Glasses? I haven't worn them in years, and I'm as vain as the next person. But then I remembered Mariana and the staff at Direct Optical Optique and how great they were at finding cool frames that look good on me because they're frame stylists. You can't get that on the web or a big box store. And nobody has a bigger selection of designer frames than Direct Optical Optique. And Mariana still knows everybody by name. She's still selling cool glasses, one pair at a time, with a very personal touch. So if you wear glasses now or are wearing them again, you gotta go to Direct Optical Optique and let them treat you like a star. They're the only ones who can do that. And they have 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to IKEA. And at OptiqueDetroit.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
The Dan Bongino Show.
Damn, I miss you all. I've got so much content bottled up in my head. I got a lot of stuff. This is the kind of stuff. It's real. May not hear this anywhere else.
Hard truths.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about that you think is going to open a lot of eyes, and a lot of ignoramuses are going to get shut down.
And a bold perspective no one else can offer.
They are freaking out.
It's the comeback everyone's been waiting for.
Lovers, haters, friends, supporters, detractors, you're all welcome. I want to hear it all.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
See you there.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Brook and 8 Mile, also on I-94 eastbound between Livernois Avenue and Mount Elliott Street, and on the northbound Southfield Freeway between Ford Road and Grand River. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Partly cloudy, temperatures near freezing this afternoon. Our lows tonight at 26. Friday, mostly sunny, high 50 degrees. And then it looks like some light snows possible Saturday night, early Sunday morning for us. We're back down in the teens for low temps this weekend, and high Sunday only in the 20s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Oh, man. Look at this.
Together again, baby.
Oh, man. This is
It's
what
been a
I'm
minute.
talking about. Steve Courtney, how are you, brother?
Everything is well, bro.
Oh,
You?
man. I'm feeling like $1 million. I got no complaints.
And let me just add this. You're looking like $1 million.
You know what? Thanks to my friends at Game Day Men's Health.
Look at you.
I
A true
love it.
professional.
Yeah, baby.
Well, here
What
we
do
go.
you got over there? What do you got?
There's a lot going on. What a great Olympic break it was.
Oh, my gosh.
A couple of golds, men and women. You better believe it. So, business continues in the National Hockey League. Your Red Wings back in.
Okay, Rich, it's fine. Thanks.
You know what?
We'll get you covered.
You know, Rich, if you had something important
take
to say,
your time, Rich.
you could have just told me.
Right, just tell us.
You know, but Rich is such a great dude. Doesn't matter. Anything else, Rich? All right.
All right. Thanks, Rich.
Red Wings get the second half of the season going tonight in Ottawa against the Senators. They're going to drop the puck at 7 o'clock. And listen, as I said earlier with Kev, I think politics has always played a part in Olympic Games historically. Was it magnified this time around? You could easily make that argument. But with the Red Wings in Ottawa to face the Senators, their captain, Brady Tkachuk, kind of going through it a little bit, catching a lot of guff for the American men, laughing at the remark by President Trump. A lot of folks, in fact, media there in Ottawa, thinking that they should have handled it differently. And then there's been an AI video put out of Brady Tkachuk saying some anti-Canadian things.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, which he didn't do, of course. And this is that whole AI thing. So, you know, Brady Tkachuk is a hell of a hockey player. He's been a fine Ottawa Senator. But now all of a sudden, because of recent events, the dynamic is different. And I find that sad.
People just believe, and I played the clip. It's my favorite clip on the internet, Steve. I don't know if you heard it. It's my favorite clip on the internet that these college kids that reacted to the State of the Union address on Monday when it was on Tuesday.
Right.
They all like.
Right. So there you have it.
It's my favorite thing. So people will see this AI video
and think it's real.
Or even if they know it's fake, in their own mind somewhere subconsciously, like, well, it must be what he's thinking then. And just take it as fact.
You know,
even
AI
know
is
it's
very
fake.
intelligent, and this must be what he's thinking.
This must be what he's thinking.
It's absurd. Meanwhile, this is going to be the third meeting between these two hockey clubs. The Red Wings won 4-3 in overtime in their last meeting, that on January 18th. They also beat Ottawa in Ottawa 5-3 on January 5th. These two Atlantic Division rivals will meet for the final time on March 24th at LCA. Quickly, you look at the Atlantic Division, and all of a sudden the Tampa Bay Lightning starting to separate themselves. Yeah. They've got 80 points. They beat the Maple Leafs last night. By the way, the Sabres, they beat the Devils. So you've got Tampa on top with their 80 points. The Canadians, the Sabres, and the Red Wings all lined up with 72. By the way, Tampa Bay's 80 points, that is tops now in the Eastern Conference. And look, the schedule getting back to things for the Red Wings, not very accommodating at all. They're going to be in Carolina Saturday night, in Nashville for the rare Monday afternoon matinee tilt. They will not return to Little Caesars Arena until March 4th, when they host the Vegas Golden Knights.
They got some work to do. You know, they're about 3 points up with 24 to play. I mean, you're really in a dead heat here to make the playoffs. And Joe Kosher, I was talking to him earlier today, not to name drop.
But you did.
But I did. And, you know, they've got to make a move. They've got to make some moves now to try to get into the playoffs and see where they go.
Well, remember, it was the trade deadline a year ago that Stevie Y didn't really do anything of importance. And then Dylan Larkin came out after the season
standing up for his guys.
Well, and, you know, we needed a little boost, didn't get it. And by the way, Dylan Larkin going through it a little bit politically because of the whole Olympic deal. Again, let's move forward and enjoy the great game of hockey.
Exactly. I hate all this that it's become. It's like, you know, any excuse to try to pull people apart too. I mean, just you know, even just reporters asking about it, almost like trying to divide. It's like, just celebrate. It is what I hate to say. It is what it is, but you know, men's sports traditionally, you know, the NBA champion is probably going to be a lot more revered than the WNBA champion. It is what it is. I mean, is that a
well? That being said, though, I think the president should have understood the temperature in the room. That our women's team won gold as well,
no doubt,
and the remark was unnecessary.
Sure. Yes, no doubt. What was it? Was it in a locker room? Like, did he? You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know. I'm not going to excuse it. I'm not going to excuse it.
Go on and on, but you know,
but just the aftermath now, days after that. You
and
know,
that is the troublesome part.
That is the part. Yes, no doubt about it. I'm not going to excuse the joke or the whatever, the locker room talk, but nonetheless. This is days now, and these guys are still dealing with
and at the end
this.
of the day, the men's team has made it well known, and so has the women's team, that their rapport was wonderful.
Unbreakable.
They had a wonderful time in the Olympic Village afterwards, and then again in Miami. And so there you have it.
And we just love division, though. Like in society today, though. I mean, people are
It's
still
everywhere.
getting asked about it today.
Everywhere.
Still getting asked about it today.
Jalen Duren, 29 points, 15 boards. Cade Cunningham added 29 points, 13 assists. The Pistons take care of the very shorthanded Oklahoma City Thunder last night, 124-116 on the home floor. The Thunder, in case you missed it, started the tilt without 5 of their 6 leading scorers, including Shea Alexander-Gilgeous, out with an abdomen. There was more, but guess what? You play who's on the floor.
No
That's
doubt.
just the way it goes. Duncan Robinson added 16. By the way, Ryan, with that win over OKC, the Pistons now with the best winning percentage in the league. They're at 754, OKC at 750. No time to rest because you've got the Cleveland Cavaliers going to LCA on Friday night. That'll be a 7:00 start.
Steve-O, if people were watching on YouTube, I was not winking at you. I had this twitch in my eye.
Likely story.
I was not winking at you, but I love you nonetheless. All right, my friend.
Yes, sir. Great seeing you as always.
And we'll see you out there tomorrow at the old Ford's Garage.
Looking forward to it. Always a great time.
No doubt about it. We invite everybody out tomorrow to the Ford's Garage. And remember, we're going to do a little switcheroo. The Mitch Albom Show will take place 2 to 4 tomorrow. I will be in the 4 to 7 slot as we close out the 39th annual Bed and Bread Radiothon, which begins moments from now. Beth Ann Long, Kelsey Phillips, Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski. More importantly, I want to thank you for making us part of your day. Hopefully you have a great day. I love everybody. I do. I love everybody. 760 WJR Mitch is next.